CCTV.
And meanwhile, the blockbuster Tsui Hark's hit Flying Swords of Dragon Gate is in its first week of release in the United States. And there are high hopes that a sizable portion of the immense popularity that the 3D action film experienced in China will be duplicated in America. And our U.S. correspondent Michael Intete has the story from Los Angeles.
It's one of the highest-grossing Chinese-language films of all time. Now Flying Swords of Dragon Gate has made its way to the U.S. The high-flying 3D wuxia film starring Jet Li is being distributed in the United States by Indomina. Indomina has released some of the top Asian movies into the U.S. market. The distributors are hoping that this film will experience great success in America.
This is our second film with Tsui Hark. First one being Detective D and the Mystery of the Phantom Flame, which was on the Time Magazine's Best Movie of the Year list. So, we're quite pleased with the response we're getting both from the critics as well as the fans. With a budget of $35 million, represents a substantial jump in Chinese cinema in terms of production quality. They brought on the man behind the 3D special effects in Avatar, Chuck Kominski.
Stan Rosen, who is a professor at the University of Southern California and an expert in Chinese film, says he doesn't expect Flying Swords of Dragon Gate to gross more than $1 million in U.S. theaters. Rosen says one issue is that a great number of Americans don't want to watch subtitled films, particularly not in 3D. He says the other issue is that the high tide for wuxia films has passed. He says Chinese martial arts films gained the most popularity in the U.S. starting in 2000 with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and that popularity lasted until 2006.
One thing that was striking was they played on more than 2,000 screens in the U.S. So it got out to a lot of cities. It got out to a lot of theaters. Most Chinese films or most foreign language films play on a very small number of screens, so it's almost impossible to get a big box office.
Indomina is counting on the fact that audience members' tastes are changing with the increasing curiosity among the world's cultures.
With the growth of both international exposure by way of the internet, as well as a growing eclectic and multicultural market here in the United States, I think there's a broader reception for subtitled films.
Rosen says that through the trend of co-productions between U.S. and Chinese studios, the two sides may eventually discover ways to create films from China that have a broad appeal in the U.S. market.
The Chinese are trying to tap that market, and I think they'll be more successful in the future now that DreamWorks and Disney and so on are setting up studios, in effect, in China for animation and other films. And other studios are looking to tell quote-unquote Chinese stories. There's more collaboration taking place.
After the 1 week IMAX 3D exclusive Flying Swords of Dragon Gate will be released at regular cinemas throughout the United States in 3D. Then it'll be seen on other platforms including DVD and video on demand. Michael Intete, CCTV, Los Angeles.